Hi, it's Gypsy from Gypsy and Skully. I wanted to talk to all you ladies out there and some guys about a few things. The first one is low-level shooting. As you can see behind me, low-level light shooting. As you can see behind me, you need to practice for that because you're going to shoot differently in high visibility and in low visibility. And you will need that in many situations. My job requires me to either be in bright and early in the morning or to be overnight. And I work at a hotel where I'm usually not, I don't feel very unsafe, but at the times when I go in, it is unsafe times. We went to New York a couple of weeks ago, well, not even a couple of days ago. When we came back, I can't carry my gun in New York. New York does not have reciprocal gun laws. So I left my baby here and never replaced her back into her holster. I didn't think about carrying her for a couple of days. On the way to work the other day, some hinky things started happening. I use hinky as a very fishy word. We had a group of people staying at the hotel. The hotel was booked solid. And apparently it worked out to be in a better situation, but you always want to be looking around you for any kind of situations that you may have. I was watching very closely, thinking I had pebbles on me, not realizing she was still sitting in her case at home. But I got into the parking lot at work and somebody had pulled in front of me and drove around the parking lot and then came back and parked right on the corner of my car, like 2 cars over. And they were sitting there in the car. So I sat and waited for a few seconds, seeing if maybe they were going in to get a room or if they were trying to make a reservation online, you know, something along those lines. They didn't move. I didn't see what they were doing in their car, but I could see that it was just one, and I couldn't tell if it was a male or female, but it was a person, one person. I got out of my car because I did have to get into work. And it was about 5 o'clock in the morning, so most people aren't up at exactly 5 o'clock in the morning. So I waited at the back of my car because their car was still running. And I felt very uncomfortable. Very, very, very uncomfortable. And I started looking for my gun, which wasn't there. So that's a totally different subject from what I talked about at the beginning, but it's part of this whole thing. I started to think, what do I do? Well, I do always carry a knife, so I kept that knife in my hand as I crossed over to the hotel, where I knew I would be safe. As an employee of the hotel, I need to make sure my guests are going to be safe as well. So I went back outside after not seeing these people move for quite a while and not understanding what the heck was going on. And I watched them for a while as I was cleaning up some stuff around the hotel because it was busy, just trying to make myself look busy, like I wasn't really watching, but that I was. Finally, this person didn't move. They stayed where they were. They were in a weird position, not in a parking spot. And I walked up to the car and the guy told me he was a security person for the trucks that were staying at the hotel that night. I was a little fishy about that, but then found out from the person who was on all night that yes, he was. But it still was just a weird situation. I felt very uncomfortable. Here's what I'm going to tell you from that. Always, always, always try to keep your weapon on you, because it's the time that you don't have your weapon is the time you're going to need it the most. Always hope that you're carrying that thing around for no reason, which it would have been no reason, but I would have felt better being able to go into the hotel knowing that there was somebody sitting out there in a car, and you never know where you're going to be. And at 5 o'clock in the morning, you don't usually expect people to be out and about. Actually, it was like 4:35 or so, 4:40. I was going to be there at 5, but I consider it 5 o'clock. It was a non-issue, but it could have been an issue if I hadn't been watching everything around me. If I hadn't known that I still had a knife on me, even though a knife isn't going to help me in a gunfight, it's still going to be better protection than nothing. I'm not a good runner. I'm too fat, I'm too old, and I am not a good fighter anymore. I can do some fighting, and I know that I can handle myself with a knife. I would have way rather had Pebbles with me, Bam Bam. I would have even liked having Tank, because just knowing that I had that space between me and the person who might be coming after me or whatever. And I don't think anybody has any problems with me, but you never know. And one of those things is, when you don't have it is when the issue comes up that you need it. So always try to carry. Now, talking about that, it was low light. I didn't have a lot of light. The hotel parking lot is lit, but not like daylight. I have a problem shooting some of my friends when it is low light. So I'm going to practice today with a few of my little friends, including Pebbles, who I use the most for self-protection, but also with Sam, because Sam's the one I have the most problems with. Pebbles, I seem to be able to, because I'm not looking at there's a little dot that lights up in the dark, but it doesn't light up well. Or I don't know, my eye isn't going to the right place. So I am going to practice a little more with Sam, because there is a difference in shooting when you're using a dot system, I guess, than when you're using the U and the dot and the line in the middle of it. When you got that, whether or not you have high light or low light, you're going to be looking for your center post, that front sight, no matter what. When you have that dot on the center post of, well, Sam has that, it brings my eye to a different spot on the center post. So I'm shooting at a lower angle.
Can I do something to demonstrate?
Yes.
Okay. Now to have you step aside for a second. What we're talking about is, see if I can do this. You see how my front sight's got that red on it? When you get into a situation like downrange from here, that turns black. You can't see it. See, it lines up nice when you got light behind you or over the top. But when the light is in front of you, coming at you, and you're standing in the dark, all you see is the silhouette of the front sight. And that is where the problem with her SIG is. She has night sights. Actually, yeah, you see your SIG.
It's empty.
Yep, okay. No mag. Let's see if I can do this here. You see here, you got that little green illuminated. Oh, wow, this is not wanting to focus really well. There we go. Come on, get in there. You can just make out that green dot. Well, in daylight, that really shines. And in absolute dark,
Or in this kind of darkness.
and this kind of, well, here where you got light in front of you and it's dark behind you, I'm chasing this thing all over the screen. Okay, she's got two little illuminated, well, these are basically your night sights. They will glow, but if there's light in front of you, you won't see it. So all you see is a silhouette of that front sight. And that's what makes it different. When you're outside, you put the dot on the target, and that dot is in the middle of the front sight. And when When it's dark behind you and light in front of you, all you get is the top. You can just see the silhouette, and that dot is now halfway down there. So it changes your point of impact. Get back in the picture. Get your lovely face in there. Sorry for taking over the video, but I think this.
Well,
She was trying to explain to you, and I think it could get it a little better across. That's looking at the silhouette of your front sight as opposed to the dot can change your point of impact significantly. So that's why her shots in here will go a lot lower than when she's outside, when you can see the 3 dots.
Usually when I'm shooting Sam in here and I'm pointed at the top part, I will quite often use these little guys standing straight up. Can you see that?
Yeah, you can see it. It's a little shiny.
Okay. I usually try to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then go back up. But what happens with Sam a lot in this lighting is I'm down here and down here. And
Yeah, she'll shoot a good.
But it'll be perfectly in those spots, but it's not, I can't seem to hit up here. I will hit either too high trying to change it or too low. So I'm trying to see what kind of a handhold I need and how to get my eyes to line up my little dot and the 2 little dots back here in order to make my shots go where I want them to go.
Yeah, we'll be using our Baker targets, A, B, C zone targets, and a 3D silhouette. And that should
My
give her
3D
an idea.
silhouettes, I call them my ex-boyfriends. They never do anything to harm anybody, but I have dumb names for stuff.
Just shot a lot of cardboard. Okay, sorry.
Practicing with Sam on the indoor range and low lighting with Gypsy and Skully. Thank you for being my wingman, trainer, and videographer.
That's me.
Let's see if I can keep from hitting the eject.
Let's see if I can dodge the brass.
You want me to back up a little?
No, won't make any difference. I should be on the other side of you.
Well, be on the other side of me.
All right, hang on a second, guys. I just don't want to be on that side of the brass flying. Okay. Here we
my
go.
Safety is on. My gun is now loaded. I am going to try to shoot where I'm aiming in low light.
Okay.
So I'm learning how to use the tritium sights because I'm used to using the just regular
Just old standard sights.
standard sights. And in low lighting, I do have a little bit more of an advantage with this gun. So I would really like to be a little bit better with it. Where I'm shooting, I'm only shooting a little bit off. So I want to try to get it where I actually think I'm gonna hit.
You want to stay between the A and the top line, right?
The A and the top line.
Yeah.
So here I go. That was not good. We try. How did you say to put my thumb so that I'm not near the
All right.
release?
I'm going to pause this for a minute because it's going to take a second. Okay, we're back. We had to work a little bit with your thumb positions.
I've been
because-
having a problem with releasing my magazine when I don't want to.
Yeah. The mag release on her gun is very, very touchy. Any little touch to it, it'll drop the mag. I'm still trying to find a heavier spring for it.
In a way that I can hold it so that I'm not actually hitting it.
So we're working on her grip a little bit.
Okay. So, we're trying this with a new handhold, and I'm taking the safety off, and I'm trying again. You know, these sights are not exactly as bright as I thought they should be.
Much better. You're done.
Done. So I started out really low because I was, well, the first one I shot high, I don't know what I was thinking of.
You just gotta get used to that trigger again, because switching back and forth between guns, whether it's a double action revolver, double action automatic, and then down to a striker fired gun, there's a lot of difference in the trigger, and it's very easy to slap a striker fired trigger and jerk the gun right down and shoot him right in
Well,
the...
I went way high. I went up into the A the first shot.
Yeah. That was your first shot?
My first shot was up there by, well, in the head area.
Oh.
Which
I thought you were trying for that.
What?
I thought you were trying to do that.
Nope. I'll be honest, I wasn't. I was trying to keep the gun pointed upward so that I could get the sights to go right, but
You had too much front sight
in
showing.
this kind of darkness, I'm having a harder time seeing those dots. The dots aren't there. But when I put the sights in, I actually have to be where the dots want to be,
Right.
not where the top of the
Excuse me. Wow.
front post is.
Right.
The front post brings me down like this when I line it up. And I need to actually have the front post a little bit higher than these back.
Yeah, that way the dots are lined up, not the post.
Exactly.
It's kind of an odd thing, but it's just the way this gun is.
And I'm having a hard time seeing that dot in these lights.
Go down here for a second. We're trying to a second camera to catch the shots as we're firing.
That was my first one. Then I went down here.
Then you went
started
down.
coming up with it. And then I started getting into the real.
Getting into where it needed to be.
But they were all in the A and C zone. This is where I started getting a handle on where the
Actually,
sights
she actually shot better
have to
than me. Pat on the butt.
Now I'm going to be shooting Smurfette low level at ex-boyfriend.
It doesn't show up well, but that's the guy in the center.
See how well I can do with Smurfette and the old-fashioned sights, because I seem to have a better time with that. Because Smurfette does not have a safety on it, I do not load her before she is downrange, or until I'm ready to shoot. So here we go. We're going to do this both-handed, one-handed, and then off-handed. Because we need to practice all types of shooting. Lost count, thought I had one more than I did. Threw that one into his neck, but I think I did pretty darn good.
Let's go take a quick look. We did try to capture it on the other camera. Oh, boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm not going to mess with you. This is at 7 yards.
Sorry, I didn't say that. We've been doing most of our shooting at 7 yards.
This is what they tell you on the internet, all the talking heads out there will tell you, and then even the FBI will tell you that most.
And at the beginning of the video, I was saying how there was a gentleman parked in a car. He was approximately that far away from me in the car.
Most encounters are between 3 and 7 yards, and usually about 3 seconds, 4 seconds. You know, that's when you gotta get your gun out, or what, you know.
Get your gun out, get your aim,
And be able
get
to
your
hit your,
shots off.
you know, the end of the engagement, whatever is going on. You know, you're going. The object is to stop them from
doing
harming
whatever they're doing.
Change their direction. If that means
Shoot
hitting him in the head,
eyeball, then you shoot him in the eyeball.
yeah, yeah, it's whatever you need to do.
I'm loading up Smurfette again, and I am going to shoot one-handed this time.
Okay, one-handed, strong hand. Not as easy with a little gun.
Am I missing?
Yeah, you're going to the right. Just aim at the chest. Yeah, right there. Is that it?
Hand's starting to shake. I have to know when to let loose.
Yep, that's what I thought. It's not easy with a small gun and a
Just
double action
one-handed.
trigger to be able to place shots precisely. It takes a very long time to be able to do that.
I missed with one.
Yep, I think you almost hit the clothespin.
I tried.
Okay. Then I'm gonna try.
I got 5 in the chest.
Yep.
I have to go reload. I only have 2 magazines right now. So here are my last ones. I am going to load it left-handed because I'm just better at loading left-handed, but I'm going to switch over and use my right hand. If I was in a situation where my left hand was unavailable or my right hand was the only thing that I had to use, I'm going to try to use that hand. Now, I don't know how well I will do this way. I am not real good at this, but I do want to practice with it, especially seeing everything Skully is going through right now. He's a better shooter and he has done offhanded a little bit more than me, but he doesn't practice at it either as much.
I should practice more. I think it's going to be part of my normal practice session.
Something else I want to say is everybody says these weapons are very extremely hard to shoot. I'm sorry. It is a man saying that. Their hands are way different than a woman's. Let a woman try it and it might work well for them. Yeah. I love my LCP because it fits perfectly in my hand and I get 2 fingers on it plus somewhat of the pinky, but the pinky goes underneath and helps me hold it upright. Okay, my thumb is in a very tight position where I can hold the weapon with my hand very nicely. I have my finger up here keeping the aim going good, and when I'm shooting two-handed I will do that. So you'll see, or I'll do this actually. You'll see that I have.
You're confusing yourself, but yeah.
Either up here, down here, or up here.
Okay.
But I'm going to try this one-handed.
And
I am loaded.
Using your weak hand. What would
Using
be
my weak hand. I'm yanking.
It's all right. Just go slow. Go easy. You're right in there. Ah.
Miscounted again. I could have sworn I had another one in there.
Thing is, go on down. You just got one mag loaded, or?
Yes, I only had one mag load. Hit him in the face,
Yeah.
and I hit him all right here.
And that's the important part, is to be able to at least keep them where they're going to do the most damage. Do the most good. How's that sound? I mean, yeah, okay. That does a lot of good. That's
You
just
can't
good.
tell me that's not going to hurt somebody.
That's going to stop whatever this person's going to do. You're going to change the Glock 42, that little 380. The man's 380. Remember from the other video?
Yes. Hey, my boyfriend has a zit.
Oh my God, he's got a wart.